Iedereen houdt wel van een spelletje, van jong tot oud. Zoals schaken bijvoorbeeld, dat spelen we al eeuwen. En iedereen kan het gewoon leren uit een boekje. Maar hoe kom je nou achter de regels van een spel dat zo oud is dat niemand ze meer kent? So Cameron, do you think that dames and knights have played chess here in this castle before?
I imagine they would have, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And why is chess so popular?
I think one reason is that it's a really rich game in terms of strategy. The more you play it, there's just more and more to learn about it. And this is one of the things that makes a game interesting and makes a game survive through centuries, through millennia.
We are also called homo ludens, you know, the playing human.
Yep.
What is it in us that makes us want to play so much? Why do we like games so much?
Games are something that all humans have in common. They transcend the barrier of language. You can sit down and teach someone a game if you don't speak their language.
And what are the elements of games that are universal?
We call them ludemes. They're the essential game concepts that make up games. And basically any aspect of a game that you can modify to change the game is a ludeme. These can include the geometry of the board, the movement of the pieces, whether they slide, whether they jump, whether they capture, and the ending rules of the game.
So, Walter, this used to be a Roman bathhouse. What would I see if we would be walking here like 1500 years ago?
You would see people from all over Roman Coriovalum, which is what is now Heerlen. This area over here was kind of an outside area. You can see this was the bathhouse.
So, some very special object was found near Heerlen, and it might be the oldest game board of the Netherlands.
Yes.
Can you show me?
We have it right over here.
This is it?
This is it right here, yes.
To me, it would be just a stone if I would dig this up. I mean, what tells you that it might be a game?
So there are a couple of things on the stone that give us kind of an indication that this might be a game. The first and probably the most important part are the incised lines that we see on the board, which were purposefully made. We see also that there are a couple of places on here, over here and over here, where the stone has been worn smooth.
You had some indication that this might be a game, and then?
In our project, we're looking at all kinds of different sources. So we're looking at games from the past 5,000 years. We're looking at not only objects like this, like boards from around the world, but we're also looking at things like artistic representations of people playing games.
Oh, yeah.
So we have in Egyptian tombs, for instance, pictures of people playing different board games.
If you want to give it a closer look to see how it's used, how do you do that?
We'll have it scanned to see if we can find any other indications of lines, and to also look a little bit better at the wear patterns on it, or where it has been worn smooth, to see if we can get any more information. We are going to scan this, so we want to look at all of the angles of the object so that we can create a 3D model. It's not just taking photos of the object, because once we have the model, we can manipulate the images in the software, change the color, take away the color, move the lighting, to try to find things on it that we can't see with the naked eye. And you can see this area right here where it's a little bit darker.
You mean that this might be a line where they...
So this is a little bit lower than the rest of the stone, so it's been worn down from movement on it.
But game-like, what kind of explanation do you have for this?
So this can be where the pieces were moving, and as you keep using it over and over and over, it wears down the surface of the stone, little by little, and it accumulates through time.
But then only one line, one diagonal line is used a lot in the game.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to use artificial intelligence to see if we can find a rule where this line is used a lot.
Oh, where this line is used. Oh, okay, yeah. So there was this object found in the south of the Netherlands, and it might be a game, it might not be a game. How do you find out what the rules could be if it is a game?
Okay, the first step is to model the game digitally. So we define a mathematical model for the board. As you can see here, we've identified places where pieces could be played to make a game board. This is the design we see on the stone.
Yeah.
And then we encode the rules, these ludemes, to define the possible rule sets that could have been used for this game.
Okay, so you got all the ludemes, you put them in your model, and then?
Then we get the AI to play itself to actually exercise the game and see how well the rule set works. For example, we have two AIs playing each other here. They first move pieces from the hand onto the board.
Okay.
And what you're seeing is a lot of blue and a lot of red. Blue means the white player thinks it will win. Red means the black player thinks it will lose.
Okay.
So immediately we know this is a very unbalanced game.
Yeah.
Black knows it's going to lose this game.
So probably not so successful. You can
That's
get
right,
it
yes.
from the list.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah.
this rule set is probably not how this game was played if it was a game.
Okay. How does the AI find out what is a successful game of rules and what isn't?
Okay, so the AIs play each other with this rule set, and we look at the behaviour of the game that emerges. Whether, in this case, one player is guaranteed to lose every game, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Or if the games are too short or too long. And we combine this with the historical knowledge from the evidence to find the most likely rules.
Based on what you know now, do you think this is the oldest game board of the Netherlands?
Well, in my opinion, we have not found a rule set that works quite right yet. But I think that the indications are leading in that direction. That's what I'll say.
Well, I'm really curious.